down at Scout and Cellar. So our next speaker, I mentioned Yoav before the break. So met him, of course, we share a mutual friend, Oron Alazi Gamliel, who was at Sunrider, Israel, then at New Skin, then at Rodan & Fields, just a very talented executive and a wonderful individual. He came all the way from Israel to be on a private equity panel with me last fall after the Rodan & Fields debacle. So, dear friend, he's been working with Oron on the company Apptor. Oron's bio comes from the elite military tech unit, where he served as an officer and spent over 7 years developing advanced predictive AI models used to anticipate behavior, guide decisions, and optimize large-scale operations. Entry into this unit is one of the most competitive and selective processes in the country, Israel. After his service, Yoav brought that expertise in the commercial world, where he was recruited by Israel's leading gaming company, Playtika. There he built predictive models that significantly boosted user engagement, retention, and revenue, systems that are still in use today. That success validated the power of predictive AI in business, led him to found Apptor.AI, where he now leads a team of elite engineers focused on bringing predictive intelligence to direct selling. Over the past year, they've been working closely with 5 leading direct selling companies, including a little bit you heard from Peter at Manatech, helping them turn data into action and drive measurable growth across the field in corporate operations. Yoav and his team have been doing some amazing things, analyzing data, actionable, making a difference, driving revenue, driving retention. And just so you know, when he comes up here and starts talking, when I got to know his business model, I immediately told him that he needed to double his prices because he was way too cheap. So he didn't take me up on that, but I just want you to know that I still feel that way. So anyway, that's enough of what I think about Yoav and what he's doing, but let's bring out Yoav up to the stage and he's going to be sharing with us. Thank you. Welcome. Oh, wait a minute, wait. So, now, can you imagine every night wondering when you go to bed if you're going to get a bomb siren and have to run down to the bomb shelter? I mean, Oron calls me and says, sorry, I got to hang up. I got to go take the grandchild. I got to get down to the bomb shelter. Oh, no, I got to go take care of the daughter that's down in the other part. Oh, no, well, wait a minute. No, the siren just went off again. Oh, last night my son-in-law's home got hit, but they were out 5 minutes before it got hit. I cannot imagine in 2025, 2024 that we live in a world where this was every day. So anyway, we're praying for everybody over there. We hope that this is actually resolved for some period of time, and I'm glad you were able to make it and join us, and God bless, and hope everybody continues to stay safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Stewart. All right, great being here. Thank you very much for the invitation, Stewart. And I'd start and say that, yeah, I did spend years building predictive AI models for the military, for the US Army, the Israeli Army. And now we are commercializing it for direct sales. But I promise you that it's a different KPIs, right? So not the same objectives as but when I say retargeting your customers, don't panic. No, I'm joking, of course. So yeah, a few years later, I founded Apptor, and we were starting building relationships in the e-commerce sector. And does this work? Yeah. So we started building those e-commerce relationships, and we found that e-commerce was already using and seeing major results from AI-driven personalization. But when I say AI, I know we think ChatGPT and stuff like that, and I don't mean Gen AI or agent or rule-based models. I'm talking about pure predictive AI. Those statistics shows that once the AI revolution started, the e-commerce have been seeing 35% increase in revenue, 31% increase in wallet spend just from product recommendations, and 25% increase in retention, and there are many more, as you can see. So we've been looking into those numbers, with understanding that e-commerce is seeing those results, and some, as you can see, some huge results from this revolution. And then, as Stuart mentioned too, I met Oran. And Oran Arazi Gamliel, as Stuart already said, is an industry veteran, and he introduced us to this industry. He showed us what's going on, he got us into the day-to-day, and he also introduced us to Stuart, who I have to say, opened the door for us into that industry. He let us in, no question asked. We got to see the day-to-day, introduced us to executive in the industry, and at that point, we started understanding what's going on. And we found, first, amazing companies, really amazing companies, dedicated teams, huge network of passionate distributors, and tons of data. But most importantly, and that's the most important thing I say today, this industry is built on relationship. Like, personalization is the key here. And once we understood that, we saw the opportunities. Like e-commerce with relationship, and we started looking into that. And if e-commerce is seeing a lift of 35% increase in revenue, we could just imagine what it will do here. Like an industry that, again, based on relationship between people, which predictive AI, of course, the main and most important thing is to create personalization for each customer and for each distributor. So we started diving deeper into the challenges in the industry, and we found that almost everyone had the same questions. Which distributor is about to leave? Which product will this customer purchase next? What is the optimal time and window to reach out to each of our distributors or each of our customers? And of course, no general solution can solve that. You need something personalized, based on data. And that's where we decided to pivot. We pivot completely to direct sales, starting developing and creating predictive models in that industry. And before I'm getting into the models and what AI models we've been developing here and what we've done, I'm genuinely mostly here to introduce you guys to predictive AI subset. Because again, when I say AI, most of us think of ChatGPT or the other tools that are out there, but predictive AI is what changed and moved the needle in the e-commerce. This is what I want to try and bring here, just so you guys understand what it means and what is it? Yeah, what is predictive AI? So unlike rule-based models that are basically telling you what has already happened, or LLMs that are amazing for creating content and give you some basic answers, predictive AI is focusing on personalization. It's what's coming next. And that's the important thing. Trying to understand for each of our customers or downlines and uplines, what's coming next, based on their behavioral data, based on their data. So how does it work? First of all, you need to train a machine learning model on your data, and your data only. Means that we are taking the company's data, training our models to find patterns inside the data. Once we are finding the patterns, we also validate the model, another important part, because you don't want to get to a point that, okay, you launched, let's say, a churn prediction model, and it's 20% accurate, right? Who would want to use it? You need to validate those models to make sure you are getting to at least 80 to 90% precision with those models, so you can actually use them. So after you validate the model, then you get the outputs, the results. Okay, and those results will use you to create actions. So you don't want to just generate insights, you want to get it to be an action. So we started building and implementing predictive models into the industry. Again, not just generating insight, we wanted to convert that to real actions. So some of the prediction models that we've been using and the actions that we've made with them, one of them, my friend Peter here already discussed about, was the win-back flow. Basically, we have launched a predictive model, a churn model, to understand which customers and which distributors are about to leave, and then it triggers a campaign to win them back. Every time the churn risk increases, we launch another promotion or a personal offer, but I'll get into that in a second. Auto-ship recommendations, right? Big part of the industry is in auto-ship. There is a model that predicts which customer we can convert and there is a high chance that it will convert into an auto-ship, and for what product, and which customers are about to drop off an auto-ship. This is one of the predictive models. Personalized offers, of course, we can predict each customer's next shopping cart to suggest cross-sell and upsell products. And there are many more, as you can see, for operational and business side. We can also talk about inventory optimization to understand which product will be in demand and when. We have the new user onboarding for customers and distributors, turning those onboardings to be personalized for each one of them, even if it's just demographical data. A/B testing, AI segmentation, and again, there are many more, and I can talk to you for an hour about what models you can make, but the idea is to turn those into actions that drive revenue retention and a lot of other stuff that we'll discuss. So we've already rolled it out with a few companies, Manatech, our friends here between them. I wanted to talk about this case study. I know Peter already talked about what they did with the Wimberg flow, but I want to talk more from the data scientist part. So, churn prediction model is a model that, again, predicts which customers will leave in the next X month. The idea is that we are training it on each company's data so we understand what this company defines as churn, because each company defines it differently. If we want to predict accurately, we need to understand how the company and how the business logic is defining churn. And then we can predict what's going on. So for example, with Manatech, we've launched the predictive model. Every time the predictive model triggers some customer is in a churn risk, there is a different kind of churn, from low risk to high risk and extreme risk. Every time the risk increases, another layer of communication is sent. We're creating a personalized offer, again, based on the customer's behavior and the purchase and the orders, whatever he did, launching those campaigns and the communication until we retain him. Until this customer is purchasing again, we will keep going and we will keep this win-back flow go until he's completely churned, which is the worst case that can happen. But the idea is to try and retain them. And of course, the results are amazing because it's the first time they are getting personalized communication with what they want to purchase, with what they will, the model predicts that they will purchase. Another example that I wanted to speak here with one of some of biggest company today, some health and wellness direct sales company that are generating over $1 billion annual revenue. We rolled out the AI product recommendation. But different is that we brought it to the field. We went into their app, applying our predictive tools into their app, and for each customer of those distributors, they can see what is the product recommendation that will convert into a purchase. So all the distributor needs to do is go into the app and send a follow-up. We make everything for them. They can also do it automatically, and then it's just sending the recommendation directly to them. But the idea is that we are bringing them the ability to retarget their customers for the first time with just one click or not even one click. Because you guys know better than me that distributors will not go into the data trying to figure out which customer is going to purchase what and trying to understand each customer, and we just don't do that. So we do it for them, so they can focus on bringing new customers and also publishing content. And that's how we created the retargeting. Now the important number that I want to speak here that looks crazy and even ridiculous is the 350% increase in engagement. And when I say engagement, and again I'm saying from a point that it's the first time they are able to retarget their clients, and by that they're starting to send much more messages. I'm not talking about content engagement, in terms of publishing content, talking about reaching out to their customers, getting them to buy what we know from the data scientist side, what they're going to purchase, create as a recommendation, and then they just sending those recommendations to the customers. So some obvious question that always come up now is, how do we even start working with predictive AI? So from our experience, building predictive models requires an in-house data scientist team. Okay? It takes time, it's expensive, it slows down go to market with more than a year. Only recruiting a data scientist team can take around 8 months, and that's positive estimation. And yeah, that's why we are here. Okay, I'm here, my company here, to help you get to know predictive AI, try and move the needle like e-commerce did, and other companies, of course. We also created a starter package. It's a way for a company to get started working with these predictions. Basically, we are bringing the right model to solve the main pain point that you think you want to focus on. There is no heavy budget, as Stewart mentioned. It's not a long go-to-market. You don't need to move to another back office or like implement a new CRM or a new software. We are going to do that on top of your systems. We're going to implement that in where you already comfortable working with. Yeah, so happy to chat. I'm here just to know you guys better. Here to explain. Please scan the QR code and shoot me an email. I'd love to speak about those things. That's it. Now I'll open for Q&A. Damien, it's far.
Just real quick, people are trying to get the QR code, but it's not directing them. Is that special Israeli intelligence, or?
No, it's actually, I think it's sending you to send me an email, that's it.
Well, what's your email is Yoav@Apptor.AI.com?
Yeah, if you scan the QR, it will directly to the email, just press send and I'll get your email.
Yoav@Apptor.AI.com. Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so just a quick plug, Yoav and his company are brilliant. Definitely recommend them. The question I have for you though, from a channel perspective, direct sales, network sales, you talk about predictive. Do you think we as a channel are ready for what I would say is prescriptive, where your machine is really starting to make concrete recommendations versus just predictions? And when do you think that cross will happen?
So that's a great question. Really is. And first of all, I want to say, from a channel perspective view, you wouldn't imagine what you can do only with orders data. Okay? You can have the minimum data required that you can apply the first model, and it already brings tons of insights. Now, regarding recommendations, a lot of companies here are using different tools. Today, I haven't met a company that I couldn't integrate with the tools they have today, even if the tools comes to be old or legacy. Once they have the API we need to launch the outputs of the models, it's enough. I haven't met a company that we couldn't do it with. I think we're ready. I think we are totally ready, and I think the software that you guys have today support that. Maybe we are bringing the technology behind it from the model side, but the actions are going to be through your software, and the software that you have today, they are more than enough.
Ryan Van Arnhem with Firma Glow and Synergist. One of the questions that I had is, we deal with a lot of startups or people that are just getting on their feet. How long does this take to really get implementation and like actual that predictive analytics? Is it a couple weeks of data that we can start to develop and work and see some numbers come back and be able to, with your platform, to be able to see the growth happen because of it?
Great question. First of all, in terms of the training and more how much time it takes, as Peter already mentioned, what we did with Manatech was less than a month. We've launched the predictive model for the churn and the RFM in less than a month and launched it into their software after 3 weeks and a few days. So I wouldn't promise it will be weeks, but definitely not months. Like something that we can launch pretty quick. From our side, training the models does take a few weeks to a month maybe, but we are working in parallel both on the tech side in terms of training the models, and the second is the operations to integrate into your current stack. So some companies can take a month, maybe 2 months, but definitely not something that takes more than 3 months to launch, operate, integrate. Yeah.
Hi, Tony Vinchard with Firmaglow. So you said that you have not, I'm assuming it's open API, correct?
It's not an open API of our company,
Okay.
but we are integrating into your API, into that software.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So have you had experience working with companies that have built out on a high level?
Can you explain?
Go high level? It's CRM, automation, data, it collects data. So we have built all of our commission engine software, everything to communicate with our AI on Go High Level, which is an automation platform. So it collects that data, but for the predictive, to integrate into it, maybe I'm not asking this right.
No, I totally get your question.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
What pieces do you need to be able to integrate into specific platforms?
Yeah, I totally understand. So first of all, more than 90% of the back offices has an open API. I'm sure they,
Yes.
if you use them, probably the direct sales uses a back office, they're definitely going to have an open API. What we do is taking the data from your company side, and your back office, training the models, and then putting the outputs back in an API or S3. I don't know if I'm going too technical, but it's definitely not something that will be hard to do. Like,
Okay, and I just wanted to, I have a second part to that question. So can you take existing data and run it through your program?
yeah, that's what we do.
Okay,
Yeah, we're taking existing data, historical data, launch it in our models, training our models based on your data and behavioral data, not only orders, of course, and then putting back the outputs.
thank you.
Jose Nunez, New York. You mentioned you have a starter package. What does that consist of?
So, starter package is something we built for companies just to start working and see the proof, yeah, see that this is what's going to move the needle. So we're gonna understand together what is your main pain point. Yeah, usually it's around churn, retention, or upsell, cross-sell, stuff like that. Once we understand that, we're gonna give you kind of a no-brainer offer just to launch the first model, which is let's say it's churn. We understand how your platform works. We'll take the data and do it in less than a month, providing the churn prediction and the actions. And yeah, it's pretty much it. But again, it's based on your main pain point. This is what we're trying to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi, Gareth Hooper, Sunrider. So Manatech has some impressive results. So with the churn predictor, in the direct sales space specifically, what do you typically see as a percentage improvement in retention when you implement the churn predictor?
So, great question. First, what we do in general, and we've launched this predictive model with more than 4 companies today, usually the numbers are running between 15 to 23% lift increase in retention. Again, depending on the companies and their baseline, how they define churn. But those are kind of the numbers. But the main reason for the big numbers is that it's the first time we do that. It's the first time we're retargeting customers to create the retention. But if we're talking about turning at-risk customers into inactive customers, it's around 16%, as I mentioned before. Questions? All right. Thank you very much, guys.
Awesome job, Gillette. You're gonna be in Salt Lake next week, and Mary's gonna be with you in Salt Lake next week, and she's not gonna be. That's all right, we'll still forgive her. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. So I don't know quite when he's gonna raise his prices, but I do know that he's gonna get exceptionally busy. So I certainly suggest trying to figure out whether you want to engage Joab if you're going to take the direction. So, so our next speaker, I just was talking to Lisa in the back of the room about how we had to have services represented. So if you come hear me talk at DSU or anywhere you hear me talk or see me talk, I'm talking about the services channel and how fast it's growing and what they've accomplished. And obviously, this is eXp Realty, so you're also probably aware that Mr. Stanford, the founder of eXp Realty and CEO chairman of eXp Worldwide, is a great friend, and such a great friend that he was wonderful and was took over the stewardship of Success Magazine almost 5 years ago. That's hard to imagine it's been almost 5 years. So, but my 13 years as owning Success Magazine was probably about 2 or 3 more years than I probably wish I had it. But anyway, that's another story for another time. It was my only consumer brand, and I praise the Lord, it's my last consumer brand I ever was involved in. But now back to the regularly scheduled programming. At eXp, Lisa leads the front line of agent support across the U.S. and Canada. She oversees a mission-critical team delivering 24/7 multilingual white glove service designed to help agents succeed. With a relentless focus on agent success, Lisa champions the purpose of the Care Desk, streamlining resolution pathways, reducing friction, and ensuring a seamless, human-centered support experience. Lisa is spearheading transformative initiatives that are reshaping how eXp operates, leveraging AI and automation to create a smarter, more scalable support model. I know some of you may have been at the AI workshop. Glenn's been so gracious of his time coming to speak, get to participate in the AI workshops, going all the way back to early 23. Just always so unbelievable with his time to come down and share and tell everything. But they mentioned that with Patrick O'Neill that's here in town, the COO, has also been out to see us several times, that they gave everybody in the company a license to ChatGPT, go to work, go do something, do anything, come back with something, come back with anything. Glenn's crazy. I mean, I know I've always said it, like one of the original articles that I found when I researched CXP was Revenge of the Nerd. Is not a better line has been found from anything that's more applicable to Mr. Stanford. So anyway, just a great human being and has built an amazing company. So we're going to find out what Lisa's been able to do to help Glenn and Patrick and the rest of the enterprise with AI and transformation. So welcome, Lisa Munyon.
Hello, and thank you for having me today. I'm just so excited to be here, and as it was just mentioned, Glenn actually encourages us, empowers us to really be what we call citizen developers. And we all do have ChatGPTs, and we all utilize them a lot, to the extent that as a company, we have 2,200 custom GPTs that have been created, and 1,700 staff members that are utilizing it every single month, with 200,000 messages that go through ChatGPT each month. So we use them in every which way you can imagine. One of the things that my team is the expert care desk here at eXp Realty, and we actually are our agent support, so customer service for our agents here at the company. And one of the things that we use the GPTs for is we create custom GPTs to, as we're rolling out new projects or programs, and we get an FAQ that's maybe 3 pages long that our team really has to know in order to answer questions that are coming in, phones, and we have a virtual world, which I'll go through, and emails, of course, and live chat and all the fun stuff there. And with that, we have to turn it over